Today I want to answer the question on everyone's mind, how to get into AI. And you saw the title, you know what this is about. And today I wanted to do a little bit more of a casual video. Me here walking on the beach, taking a little moment to, I guess, reflect on 2024 and look forward to 2025. And this is a question I get asked a lot from people of all ages and stages in their career. We've got 18-year-olds wanting to get into AI and not knowing where to start. We've got middle-aged people in the middle of their career wanting to get into AI and not knowing where to start. And if you're new to the channel, don't know who I am, my name's Ottley, and I've been building AI businesses, and I got myself into AI over 2 years ago. And since then I've got a pretty unique perspective on this topic because I've helped thousands of, or maybe tens of thousands of people now to also get into AI. And so I've had direct interactions and like sort of seen indirectly people's posts and the progress they've made. And so I have a pretty unique and maybe even one-of-a-kind perspective on seeing thousands of people successfully make the transition into AI and what it takes, what the patterns are among those who succeed. And in this video I want to give you kind of a crash course, or I wish I knew this before I started kind of thing for anyone of all sorts of backgrounds and all different lanes of life right now. And I'm going to break it down to 3 different categories, which I'll walk through in a second. So it really is going to cover basically anyone. If you click on this video, this is going to contain a strategy for you based off the success that I've had personally, or off what I've seen in the space more broadly. So I have 65,000 people in my school community. I have had thousands of people that we've helped through my pay program, etc. I have my own AI automation agency, Morningside AI. I got 40 people working for me. We've got an office here in Auckland City. Like I don't know what more you want me to throw at you to think that I'm qualified to give this information, but there it is for the skeptics, for the newbies. That's me, and that's my credentials. So first thing we need to think about if we're talking about getting into AI is like defining it, right? So what do we actually class and define as getting into AI? And to me, that, and to many people would agree, that comes down to building some kind of valuable AI skills or knowledge, and then being able to monetize those skills and that knowledge to move your career into the AI space, right? This can be broadly split into 3 different groups. Firstly, we have the time-rich and cash-poor people, and then we have the cash-rich but time-poor people, and then we have sort of the trickiest of the bunch, the cash-poor and time-poor people. So if you are thinking about getting into AI, you likely fit into one of those buckets, and we're going to break down a strategy for each of those right now. So the first people as a persona of the cash poor but time rich, these are people like, say, 18-year-olds who are just starting on their leaving high school, and they're looking to get into the workforce, looking to train up in AI and to get a role or move into that as a career. These people do not necessarily have a lot of money on hand. They can't afford to invest in the best educational programs, but they do have a lot of time and often a lot of energy as well if you're a younger person. And so I fit into this category myself. I'm 24 years old, and I mean, it's not necessarily age restricted, but generally people who are younger are going to have a lot more time but less money to throw at this problem. If you are in this category, the strategy to get into AI that I would recommend is that you need to approach it from a standpoint of, I have the time and the energy to invest in learning the skills that are going to allow me to make money in the space moving forward. And that primarily comes down to things like AI automation as a skill set. And this is going to rub a few of you the wrong way because you think that you need to be a developer to get into this. But the reality is there's so much available now for people to learn no-code and low-code platforms in order to build AI systems for businesses or to get into the AI automation economy, that anyone can get into it. I've seen it firsthand. People have just put in the work to learn these different platforms that allow you to build stuff without necessarily being a super advanced developer. And so the pathway that I'd recommend for you if you're in this boat is to firstly focus on free self-study. And so the free self-study is going to allow you to upskill first and foremost. There's so much available for free. I have a free course on my school if you want to watch that. I don't really care if you watch it or not, but there's a free course. People make free courses. There's free YouTube content everywhere, but it's focused around, can I build a skill set in the AI automation space? I would recommend starting off with, if you're serious about this long term, starting off with taking a basics in Python course. It's like $20 on Udemy. I'll leave a link to the one that I took back in the day down below. And if you learn the basics of Python, that's a great foundation. Then you move into, say, things like VoiceFlow or Relevance AI or building voice agents on VAPI and things like this. You don't need to be an extremely proficient developer to be able to create value with these AI systems these days. So the low-code and no-code platforms are really proliferating these days, and they're getting really, really good at doing a bunch of key things for small to medium-sized businesses. So once you've got that base of skills, you need to move into, can I apply those skills in the real world, and can I get some real-world experience? And this typically comes down to offering your services for free and saying, hey, can I, going into my free community or another place where you can find people who are looking for these kind of services, and offering your services for free and saying, hey, I'd like to get some real-world experience of applying this AI automation skill set to a business or to, I don't know, someone's personal life, or a little automation for them. Basically turning that knowledge into actual experience in delivering and building these kind of systems. And from there, you get a chance to progress that to actually AI freelancing and making money from it. So once you've got enough experience and you've built a few of them out for people for free, then you can start to charge for the same services, right? So it's being visible in places like my free community, or wherever you want to do it. I just use my community as an example because that's what I know, and I know people have been using that successfully. And beyond that, you can go and start to use this AI freelancing route and monetizing based off the skill set, basically the low-code, no-code development skill set that you have created. And that can lead on to starting your own AI automation agency. It can lead on to doing partnerships or whatever you want to do. But that is how you get into it as someone who is time rich but cash poor. The second group is the people who are cash rich but time poor and cash rich. So these are people like 30 to 40-year-old people who may be in the middle of their career, middle of their supposedly money-making, or what should be their money-making section of their career, and they are looking to, they have the cash, they have the funds, they've been saving up hopefully, and they have the funds but they don't have the time. They may have a family, they may have kids, they may have obviously a job, so they're juggling a lot of things at once, but they do have the funds. And so the strategy for these people is slightly different to what I would recommend for someone who is say a younger student, or someone who's got a lot of time but not a lot of money. And that would be to firstly focus on where can I spend my money to get the biggest base of skills and knowledge. Well, skills you have to kind of work on, but the idea is you find there's so much available online now for paid courses on upskilling in AI, whether that's getting a foundational understanding of what the technology is and what it can do. Most of the money is going to be created around how AI can help businesses. I'll tell you that right now. So that's where I'd be focusing on: best AI use cases, how to identify use cases, how to understand how to build one of these systems and really fit the pieces together. And that sort of falls into more of an AI consultant role. The reason I'm recommending this strategy is because by doing so, you're not necessarily having to become an AI developer or an AI automation engineer. You are just going, I'm going to learn enough about this technology where I can start to communicate it to other people. And once you have that base of information that you might have to buy 4 or 5 different paid programs. I'm going to be honest, like, there's a bunch of duds out there, and this is not just a sales pitch for mine, but that is the case. And if I was going into it in your position, I would be saying, look, I'm going to spend my money that I have to try and get an advantage in this market. And I may buy someone's course and it's a dud, and I may find one that's incredible. But you should be willing to see it as an investment, and not all investments go up, right? So that's just the reality of the online education market, is that there are people who are not really giving out the value that they promise, right? So I don't want to get into all of that. Again, this is not a sales pitch. I'm really just trying to give you exactly what I would do in your position, which is spend probably more than I was initially planning to, right? You need a bit of a shotgun approach, because if you want to get it fast and results fast, that is what it's going to take. It's a bit of a, like, turn off the brain on some of those purchases, because you just need to use your advantage, which is cash, to get your advantage in the knowledge and skills category. So once you've got that, the next step after that is to then take, if you want to make money with it, you need to be able to advertise your services or advertise your who you are and the stuff that you know, right? So marketing, the easiest way, at least in my experience, as you can see. I'm walking on a beach right now. Really, it's a great advertisement for personal branding and content creation, but is to work on content creation and build a personal brand. And building a personal brand can start on, say, one platform only is all you need. LinkedIn, X, or Twitter, formerly Twitter. YouTube, you can do blog writing on things like Medium, but basically, how can you start to play a part? Oh, sorry. How can I start to play a part in the commentary and in the discussion in the AI space? And how can I start to like plant my flag and share my opinions and share my thoughts and share some value to people who are interested in making this transition? And again, primarily it's going to be focused on businesses. Using the knowledge that you gain from your paid programs to start to communicate to the hundreds of millions of businesses who are needing some kind of AI guidance when someone to help them through this transition. And even if you're not a developer or you haven't got this big development skill set like the other guys, that can still mean that you are able to help them with the basics, which is education. What is this technology? What can it do? And we've found in my own agency that if you can't even do that part for businesses, then you can never go on and sell them anything more. Like implementation is so much further down the line than we initially thought. There's like the whole layer of education initially of what AI is and how it can help the business. And then it's use case identification, so a more consulting layer. And then there's finally a, like the implementation comes very last. And so there's a lot of value to be created and money to be made in that initial layer of education and use case identification, which you can go to because you've invested in those courses, etc. Once you've got the personal brand running, it might take you maybe 1 to 2 hours a day. I know you're supposed to be time poor, but realistically, this is going to take some time. I'm not going to bullshit you there. But if you can find a good strategy for, say, LinkedIn personal branding, there's so much out there on the internet right now. You might not even like pay, like Justin Welsh has like a $97 LinkedIn course. And if you just follow that, I'm sure you're going to be able to build some momentum. Like it's all out there. It's just really your resourcefulness that's going to determine your success here. So scheduling in 1 to 2 hours every day for content creation to get that ball rolling. And then that's ultimately going to lead to being able to sell some kind of AI consulting offer, just low ticket consulting, say like $100 an hour, $200 an hour through your personal brand. Or what I would recommend is looking into a low ticket education or course in this case, where through the personal branding you can direct businesses that you interact with to a introduction to AI course, basically for them to understand it more. And you can even go and do some local lead gen and start to offer this thing out for free. But basically what you want to do with that is either making money through the consulting, or you can sell the course for a price, or what I would recommend longer term is to start to build a relationship with these businesses as their trusted AI partner. And from there you can pass on and identify use cases and pass those leads to other AI automation agencies that actually have development capabilities, and they can do the implementation step and you can take a cut of those fees. So really you're saving. This strategy is primarily based on you get to avoid having to do all of the development work that would be a much surer bet, if I'm honest, and getting that AI automation skill set, because it's been very beneficial for my career so far. And instead you're focusing on, can I communicate this to businesses? Can I warm them up to the idea of AI? Can I make some money consulting on the side? And then can I get them to the point where they're ready for implementation and profit on that handoff? So you pass off the hardest work, the dev work, the implementation, to someone else. So that's your strategy for the cash rich but time poor people. And finally, you've got the time poor and the cash poor people, which I think are obviously in the stickiest situation of anyone. And I'd say these are like young professionals. Say they are 25 to 30, and they have it might be in the phase of their career where they're really working hard. They're in the office all day, every day, whatever career you want to insert there, but they're working hard. They're trying to increase their earning potential in their career, but they also don't have a lot of time, right? So they haven't had the chance to get a lot of savings and save up some money like maybe a 40 to 50-year-old person would. And they're also putting all of their work into the job so that they can, or their time into the job so that they can increase their earning potential in the next part of their career, right? They're still like ramping up and trying to get their savings up as well. So you're cash poor and time poor. Unfortunately, it's a pretty tricky position to be in. And the only recommendation I could do here is if you can try to, one, do self-study. As I said, like there's so much on YouTube. Just start to pick up some skills on the side, and the little time that you do have available is to start to do some slow self-study, just gradually picking up new skills here and there. Maybe you're building a little automation for this, a little automation for that, making your own AI tools, which are fairly easy to do. I've got tutorials here on the channel. And then trying to get, if you can, if your job permits it, some kind of role within the company, or even just micro projects in the company where you get to flex those AI muscles and do something for them internally. And this starts to build your own portfolio and a set of case studies and testimonials. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a testimonial from your company. Maybe they would, I doubt it, but essentially a case study or portfolio of things that you've done and some hands-on experience, which becomes very valuable. I've reached the end of the beach here, so I'm gonna start walking back. And once you've found a little bit of momentum there, you are acquiring more skills and you're adding this to your portfolio. You can start to share those things on LinkedIn, job permitting, of course. Or you can create an anonymous X profile, or you can do something to basically start to tell the world or communicate that you're doing these things and build up a bit of a credibility bank is really what you're looking to do. Is slowly building up, yes, I know what I'm talking about, I've done this thing. And then you can ultimately take a route more similar to the time poor or time rich but cash poor people, where you can move into an AI freelancing role, or you can try to become like an internal AI consultant for a business or something like that. So that's how I'd recommend. It's really tricky, I'm not gonna lie, for those time poor and cash poor people, but there's only so much you can do. And starting internally, for example, there's a guy from my accelerator actually, and I've done an interview with him here on the channel, Hamza. I'll put it in my in the description of this video. But Hamza was a student and he was doing his internship work experience, and he was doing some really boring manual data entry rubbish, right? That should have been automated a long time ago. All right, sorry, we've had a camera malfunction, it's run out of battery, but I'll finish it off quickly. Hamza was doing this manual data entry and he realized he could automate it with a fairly basic system. And so once he automated it, he basically did it himself and said, hey, this is the results that I've gotten. I've been able to automate this task completely. And they're like, wow, you just saved us weeks of work. And that was really his first step into implementing real AI solutions that could actually provide some value to businesses. So from that momentum and from that experience, he was able to then go on and sort of get deeper and deeper into the space. I think he bought into my accelerator after that, or was already in it before, I'm not sure. Again, this is not supposed to be a sales pitch, but it is just an example that I'm familiar with. And then he was able to move into starting his own AI, a little micro AI SaaS for realtors, and in the mortgage industry, I believe it was. Anyway, you can watch the video, I'll put it down below, hear his whole story. But that's the process where if you can find things internally that are small and that you can nibble off, and start to create some value internally within the company, then that's going to be it's better than nothing, right? It's going to be some sort of progress towards transitioning, and you might be able to get a promotion to being an AI guy within, like, starting an AI department or leading some kind of AI use case identification internally, which companies are looking for. So now, all of this being said, what is the kind of key takeaway here? And for 2025, I know a lot of people are trying to answer this question, right? So how can I get into AI? What steps I need to take? And I've tried to give it to you here as clearly as possible. This is not meant to be like an implementation video. I think some people get mad at me sometimes for not giving you like the granular step-by-step, send this DM to this person and this. I'm sorry, but like there is a certain like filter on intelligence and also on like self-determination and motivation to do things that is going to stop the majority of people from getting into this stuff and making this jump. And if you expect someone to absolutely spoon feed you every single step of the way for free, then you're probably not going to make it, I'm going to be honest. But if you are someone who can watch, say, a high level video like this where I'm breaking down the sort of patterns and recommended strategies, and then from there you go and implement it and you do your own self-study, that is how the majority of people actually get into the stuff. It's not by being spoon-fed every single step of the way. It's being given a nudge in the right direction, right information and direction, and then taking action on it, because there's no way that anyone could do every single step for you. So I guess my closing notes on this is that everyone wants to get into it, but why should you actually get into it? And I mean, personally, the AI space for me represents a multiplier or an accelerant on my career and on the inputs that I put into it. I know I'm going to work my ass off wherever I go and put my time in and really give my all to anything I get into. Some people are like that. Some people just don't really have that sort of passion and desire to do stuff within the career. I completely get that. Like, you could be up for a bit more of a chilled life or whatever, but personally not me. And the AI space has been an accelerant on my career. I was an online entrepreneur for 4 years, made good money, but the past 2 years switching into the AI space has just made it completely explode, both because of the timing of the market, how early we are, but also the potential of this technology as a whole. And so if you're looking to get more out of what you put into your life and your career, then this is a good choice. And this is investing your time and pivoting towards this AI space. I promise you. I mean, this is not should be like a Ty Lopez and like here in my garage kind of thing, but it's like midday on a Friday. This is my last day of work for the year. My company's clocking off. We're all going off for Christmas break, and it works. It really has made a significant change in my life and career and everything I've been able to do. So I hope if you're watching this and you're thinking of making the jump, just know that it's not going to be easy. I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be easy, but it is worth it. And it's as cliche as it sounds. It is an accelerant on your life and your career if you can go in and go through the right steps like I talked about in this video. So don't expect it to be easy. Don't expect it to be spoon-fed to you. But if you are willing to put in the work now and be early to this and be one of the people who does make the transition, the safety and security I feel like I have in my career in this space is second to none. I know that I can just go all in on this for the next decade at least. And I have so much, not only wealth and value to create, but also memories and impact as well. Like there's so many areas of this space where we need people to come in and actually see where the market is going and decide, hey, I want to play a role in fixing that problem or addressing this particular societal issue that AI is going to cause. So if you're looking for a chance to make an impact, to make a whole lot of money, to be in a space where you get lots of excited new people coming in and making great friends. I've got so many awesome friends that I've made from my time in the space now. So I hope you get I hope you get it. I don't know what more else I can say. I've tried to give you 3 different ways here, and in each of those categories, that's what I'd be doing if I was going into 2025. And at the end of the day, that's all I can really give you on this channel is what I would do or my recommendations or my thoughts. So my arm is getting really sore now. So that's been me. I guess this might be the last one for 2025 or one more, but I sincerely wish you all have an excellent Christmas and holiday break if that's what you celebrate, New Year's. I appreciate all of your support for over 2 years now here on YouTube, and it really has made that much of a difference in my life, having a chance to share my thoughts and help you people through this as well. So a little heartfelt thanks from me and the entire Morningside team, because you've not only impacted my life by your support, but the lives of over 40 people all around the world now, and counting. So thank you. I wish you all the best for 2025 and beyond. This is me signing out here in beautiful Auckland, New Zealand, and I hope you guys in the Northern Hemisphere are enjoying your winter. Yeah. I will be in touch next year, but thank you again for your support, and I'll sign out now.